Hello and welcome to Michael's Minty Music for today. Today we review The Strokes' debut 2001 album, Is This It? It's pretty great. Definitely a super innovative album here. Really good. Really love it. And if you didn't hear, because nobody saw that last video, I'm showing my face now. That's what I'm doing in the corner. This is the track listing. And these are the tracks I added to my playlist, which is all of them. This is one of those bands whose debut album is just great right off the bat. All the songs have something interesting about them, and they're basically all good. The style is super consistent, early 2000s alt rock, which has enough range to get a bunch of different songs that are all interesting, but still all sound pretty similar. The album flows pretty well, since all the songs are good. The only thing that's really missing is a few really catchy songs to make sections stand out. As it is, the album kind of flows well, but it doesn't go anywhere. It's just mid-tempo rock sound through and through. Sometimes they'll get a little more up-tempo, sometimes a little bit less slower, but it doesn't really have a lot of range, I guess, in that respect. More a straight line than a hump or a valley. The sound is super innovative, but it does take some from a lot of different earlier sounds. There's some clear influence from the Velvet Underground, as well as sort of a general punk rock sound from the 70s. A little bit of new wave sound goes a long way here to speeding up the album, just a little bit on some songs. Stuff like Hard to Explain and New York City Cops got a little bit of new wave in there to get them a little more upbeat. The Modern Age is very sort of Velvet Underground-y into sort of 70s, 80s punk rock. So this is kind of a really transformative album, I guess I would say, because it's moving from taking a bunch of stuff from the past, but then it's still all different. Really, really getting out of the 90s rock sound very well, and I love it for that. There's only one single released before the album, Hard to Explain, which I think may have been on the radio along with Last Night at the time of its release. And then speaking of Last Night, it's definitely my favorite song here. It's super simple but super catchy. It's super memorable song from this album in a way that all of the other really good tracks just aren't. They aren't as memorable as this one. I don't know what it is. It's just a song thing. So, I ranked this album second out of the two Strokes albums I've listened to so far, because I heard The New Abnormal first. This is a great debut, but I think, almost 20 years of experience definitely makes The New Abnormal the better album. It's got the same level of quality with a lot more variety, and it flows better in my opinion. Although, This Is It still flows pretty well, but The New Abnormal kind of goes somewhere in the way that Is This It doesn't. However, this album does take my top spot from 2001 for me, beating out Misunderstood by Pink. Misunderstood is a very good pop album. Is This It is a great rock album, and I think it just has a higher level of quality than Pink. It would be super close against some of her later albums, but against what's basically her first good album, the Strokes are a step above here. It's definitely a competition, but it is one that they win by a memorable margin. Next up is Duran's self-titled debut 1981 album. It's pretty good, definitely one of their best albums, and a great debut from them. So stay tuned for that, and as always, stay minty.